Hey everyone, so welcome to the Twitter training today. As you can see, I'm going to be speaking to you guys about how to generate leads using Twitter without spending a penny on paid ads. Okay, so this is really one of those Twitter trainings that's, I'd say, is quite unique. I haven't really seen anyone else doing using Twitter in the way that we use it in order to get some results. So in order to grow your audience and in order to generate leads and find your clients and reach out to them and ultimately grow your business. So I hope you're excited to get started on this. Because we have a lot to cover, I'm literally just going to jump straight into the training now. Just one thing I will say before we start is to make sure that you do remove any other distractions. So, turn off your phone or your social media or whatever might take your attention away from this training, because I want you to give this your full attention and to take notes and to really be able to not just learn but implement the things that you do and take action. Okay, so with that, let's get started. And the first thing that I want to talk to you about today is why use Twitter. Okay, why Twitter in the first place? And the reason I ask this question is because, as you probably already know, Facebook is a lot bigger than Twitter in terms of people that actually use it. LinkedIn as well has more members who have joined, and also Instagram is one of the fastest growing social media channels right now. So why should you, as a business owner, be interested in Twitter? Well, one of the unique things about Twitter is that it's an open social media channel. So unlike LinkedIn and Facebook, where a lot of people have private accounts or you need to be connected with them in order to reach out to them, or on Facebook especially, you need to do any paid advertising to get any results. Because Twitter is an open social media channel, what that means is that most people have public accounts. It means that you can actually use Twitter to find and search for your ideal clients and customers and reach out to them. Okay, so what I want you to learn by the end of this training is, right now, you might be in a position where you have no idea how to get any real results from Twitter, how to get any leads, or how to find your clients. So what I want you to be able to do at the end of this training is to be able to say, okay, I now know exactly how to find my ideal clients and how to generate new leads every single month on Twitter. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to be able to generate leads, not just once, not just twice, not just a few times a week, but we want this to be a regular thing. I want this to be something that's consistent for you. And if you follow the processes and the training that we are going to go through, you'll be able to learn how you can do this on a consistent basis and keep doing this. And you can spend as much or as little time as you like doing this, but the most important thing is that you are consistent, because the more consistent you are, the more your audience will grow, the more leads you can generate, and the better results you can get. Okay, so in order to do this, as I've mentioned, you can see that this is a training. So this is going to be an online training session. So in this training, we're going to cover 3 lessons, and there's 3 primary lessons that I want you to learn so that you can know how to find your ideal clients and generate leads every month on Twitter. So the first lesson that we're going to cover is why most businesses get no results from Twitter, and what you need to do to make Twitter work for you. So this is kind of like building the foundation for a successful campaign on Twitter. So there are a few things you need to do first before you just jump ahead and start generating leads and talking to people. There's a few foundational things that are pretty easy to do, but there are still a few people that are not doing them. So I just want to make sure that you do that first before you move on to anything else. And in lesson 2, I'm going to teach you how to easily find your ideal clients on Twitter and get them interested in you. And then in lesson 3, I'm going to share with you the best software that I've found that you can use to speed up the process, to save time and make this as easy as possible. So let's get started with lesson 1. Why do most businesses get no results from Twitter? Well, let's have a look at how most businesses use Twitter in the first place. And this is how most people use Twitter at the moment. And maybe you can relate to this as well. So you create a profile, or they create a Twitter profile, so a Twitter account. Then they post things. And, it's not something that is done on a consistent basis. So it's, they do it sometimes here and there. And then what else happens? They follow a few people, so they might reach out to a few people that they like. They might follow a few brands, or maybe they might find one of their clients on Twitter, or they might follow them. So they start following a few people, and then they post a few more things, and then they realize that what they posted before didn't really get any traction. So this time they post more things with lots of different hashtags and things to try and get more reach and engagement, and then it goes quiet and nothing really happens. It just feels like you're posting things for the sake of posting things, but nothing really happens. Like, you don't really see any traction, you don't see any leads, you don't see any results. Okay, so what do? They repeat the process again. They'd be like, oh, I must be doing something wrong, or maybe it just didn't work this time, or maybe this, maybe that, and then they try again and they repeat the process again. Okay? And here's why that doesn't work. And it doesn't matter how often, you post things and how often you follow people and all that kind of stuff. That stuff is great, but here's why it doesn't result in actually you getting any leads and new business. And this is the key, right? There's like a missing piece, a piece that you're missing right now in your strategy. And that's the reason that what you're doing, even though it's not necessarily bad and it's not wrong, it doesn't bring you results. And that's what we're going to cover in this training. So there is something that makes Twitter really unique for businesses. And if you can leverage this thing that Twitter has, that's really where you get the results. So what is this thing? What is Twitter's most powerful asset? How do most people, why do most people not get results, and why do others get really good results on Twitter? It all comes down to having conversations. So conversations is really what Twitter is all about, okay? Because you need to remember, as I mentioned at the beginning of this training session, Twitter is an open social network. And really, what that means is that you can pretty much speak with anyone on Twitter. You can find anyone and you can speak with anyone. And the best way you can get the best results on Twitter is by having one-to-one conversations with people. So Twitter is built around these conversations with people. That's why you might have seen things like Twitter chats and stuff like that. Everything is around conversations, okay? So if you're not actually having conversations with people on Twitter, you're missing Twitter's greatest asset, the most powerful thing that Twitter has to get you results. Okay, so if you're not speaking to people on Twitter, chances are you're not getting any results. So how do you speak to people on Twitter? What is the best practice? What is the right way to speak to people? Okay, so we're going to answer that in a bit more detail in lesson 2, because that's where we go into how do you find your ideal clients and how do you reach out to them. But I just want to let you know now that speaking to people is really how you generate results on Twitter. And there's a way that you do that, and I'll share that with you in lesson 2. But for now, there is something you need to do before that. So before you start reaching out to people and talking to people, you need to build a strong Twitter foundation. Okay, and this is something I mentioned at the beginning of this training again, that in lesson 1 we're going to cover how you can build a strong Twitter foundation, and you need to do this. And by the way, it's not very hard, it's very easy to do this, but you need to do this before you jump onto lesson 2 and lesson 3. So before you start reaching out to people, and I've actually seen some people, they skip this and they just jump to lesson 2 and they just start reaching out to people and finding their ideal clients, but they don't again get the best results simply because they haven't built a strong Twitter foundation. So we're going to go through that now. So the first thing you need to do, and as I mentioned, this isn't very hard, but it's just basic things that you need to make sure you have. But the first thing you need to do is that you need to check in your Twitter bio, do you have a reason for people to follow you? Okay, is it all about yourself? Is it empty right now? Or do you actually have a real reason for people to follow you? So let me just share my screen and show you what a Twitter bio should look like. Okay, so this is what my Twitter page looks like at the moment. So your Twitter bio is this little section here. Okay, and this is what people will see when they go to your profile or when they get a notification or an email saying that you followed someone. So again, we're going to cover this in lesson 2 about growing your audience and generating leads. But for now, you need to know that your Twitter bio is something people look at to decide whether they will follow you or not. So you need to give people a reason for them to follow you and a call to action for them to follow you as well. You actually need to tell people that they should follow you. So it might sound Simple, but it actually really works. It's just a psychology thing. If you say follow me because blah blah blah, you're giving people a reason to follow you, and you're telling them what to do next. So it actually increases the chances that they do follow you. So my Twitter bio says, founder and CEO of Skyline Social. My goal is to help people find, trust, and buy from you using social media. So that's what we do. That's how we help people. And then you can see at the end, I just have a very short sentence that says, follow me for social media marketing tips. Okay, so that's why people should follow me. It could be follow me for whatever reason, whatever reason that's related to your business and what it is that you do. Give people a reason to follow you, but don't just say follow me to buy my product or my service or whatever, something like that. Okay, and if we go to my company page, so I'm just gonna click on that to load it up. You can see here that again, we have what it is that we do. So struggling to win more customers using social media, we make it easy for you. So then we say follow us for our latest and best tips on winning more leads and customers. Okay, and I might change this periodically just to test what works and what doesn't work, but whatever happens, I always make sure that we have a call to action and a line that tells people to actually follow us. Okay, so that's the first thing. You want to have a look at your Twitter bio and make sure that you do. And while we are here on the Twitter Twitter section, just looking at your page, you also just want to make sure you have things like your cover image, you have a logo image all filled out, a good name. You want to make sure that your username is short and easy to remember. All these are very basic things, but they add an element of trust and just increase the chances that people again will follow you when they see you on Twitter. So if you're already doing a lot of these things, then great. I just want to cover them because this is part of the foundation, building a strong Twitter foundation. The second thing that you need to make sure that you do is that you post regularly on social media, and you post regularly on your Twitter channels. Okay, so if you have a look at our Twitter channels right now and scroll down, you can see that we posted on February the 16th, we posted on February the 15th, again on February the 15th, then the 14th, then the 14th, and basically if we keep going down, you can see that we post pretty much every day. Monday to Friday, we post at least once every day, and that's something that you need to be doing. You need to be posting things on a consistent basis every day on your Twitter channel. Okay, that's really, really important. But there's one thing that you need to keep in mind, that when you share things and when you post things, you want to be posting things that again are providing value to your potential clients. Okay, this is really, really important. You don't want to be posting things just selling your services and your products. You don't want to be talking about yourself all the time. You want to make it about your clients. You want to be helping your clients. You want to be providing value to them. So you'll see that a lot of the content that we post is about how you can use social media to grow your business. Okay, so that's why we post those things, because if they follow us and they get those kind of things in their newsfeed, or they see those things that we post, that's the kind of stuff that's going to be providing value and be interesting to them. So they're gonna want to follow us when they see us, and they're gonna want to stay following us because we're providing value. And you need to do the same. You need to think about what is it that your potential clients are struggling with? What do they need help with? What can you help them with? Now, as a bonus, something else that you can also do when you post content is you can tag people in the content that you share. So if you look, let's go back here. So if you look at some things that we've posted recently, you can see that we not only tag the publication it appears on, so this is on a website called Post Planner, but we also tag the person that wrote the article as well. So we tag this person here. Okay, and then finally, and this is really where you can get the best results from Twitter, again leveraging conversations. So use Twitter's best asset, and that is, as I mentioned, conversations. And one of the best ways that you can have conversations with people is by taking the conversation from the open Twitter world to a private message. So taking it from someone that's speaking to you one-on-one, where anyone can join in the conversation, and take it to Twitter DMs, so Twitter direct messages. Okay, and this is the most powerful way to grow your business, okay, on Twitter, right? So this is the most powerful way to grow your business on Twitter. And this is how you can generate leads, and this is how you can build relationships with people. This is how you can form strategic partnerships with people and ultimately grow your business. It's all through Twitter conversations, okay? But there's a right way and a wrong way to use Twitter direct messages or Twitter DMs. And in lesson 2, I'm going to show you how you can do it the right way, just to make sure you don't make any mistakes or annoy people or anything like that. Okay, so we're going to go into lesson 2 very shortly, but for now I just want to do a quick recap on what we've learned in lesson 1. So what do you need to do to get results from Twitter? Okay, so to make it as easy as possible for you, I've put together a little checklist. So the first thing you need to do is you need to update your Twitter bio and tell people why they should follow you. The second thing you need to do is you need to post regularly. So post useful content for your potential clients. Don't just post things that you are going to be interested in. Post things that your clients and potential clients are going to find interesting. And there's loads of content out there. So even if there isn't loads, if you're in maybe some sort of industry where there's not a lot of content, you can always create your own content as well, which I recommend you do anyway. That's how you can get even better results. The third thing you can do is tag people on your posts and engage with your potential clients' posts. And the fourth thing you can do is start direct messages with your potential clients, and I'm going to cover how to do that in lesson number 2. Okay, so these are the 4 things that you need to do to build a strong Twitter foundation. Now let's move on to lesson 2. Lesson 2 is where we are going to start generating leads and finding your potential clients. So lesson 2, the question I want to ask you is, how do you find your ideal clients on Twitter? How do you think you can find your ideal clients on Twitter? So listening to this webinar so far, you probably have a rough idea of how you can find them by using, you've probably heard me mention things like searching for them or finding them or following them or messaging them and things like that. But how do you physically do that? Okay, how do you find them? And how do you also get them interested in you? Okay, so how do you find them and how do you get them interested in you? Okay. So the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out, or at least you need to think about, who are your ideal clients. Okay, so this is very important. You can't just go onto Twitter, search for anyone. You need to be very specific with who you're actually looking for as a client. So you could think about maybe their job title. So what kind of job title would they have? So a lot of people on Twitter put that they're the CEO or the managing director or the founder or managing partner, or they normally put their job title. If you're trying to target other business people, they normally put their job title in their Twitter bio. Or if you're not targeting people based on job titles, then what keywords would they put on their Twitter bio that would indicate that they would be someone that you could work with? So we had another client, for example, that wasn't targeting business people. They were targeting mums and dads. So we were looking for people on Twitter that actually had the keyword mom or dad on the profile. Okay, so what keywords would someone have on their profile to indicate that you would be targeting them? It could also be industry keywords. Just type down or write down any that you think would be relevant. And just another quick example, we had another client as well. Again, they wasn't targeting business people. They were targeting people that loved animals. So we would target people that would say animal lover or love dogs or love cats and things like that. Loads of people like that on Twitter. And again, just by having those right keywords, we can find them. And for the business people that we work with who are targeting other business people, which is the majority of our clients, they were targeting people with the keywords like managing director and CEO and partner and things like that. And again, loads of those people on Twitter, you can very easily find them. So the first thing you need to think about is what job titles or keywords would someone have in their Twitter bio that would indicate they are a potential client for you. Okay, so the second thing you need to think about is their location. So are you looking to target potential clients in a specific location? Now for Twitter, you get the best results when you target people in a city or nationwide or even worldwide. So we have clients, for example, that are targeting other clients in London, in New York, or in Miami, or any kind of city like that. You can get some good results. Or even there's people such as even ourselves, for example, we're targeting people nationwide and worldwide. Because we work with people anywhere in the world virtually. So as long as they have a business and they can work from the internet and communicate with us online, then we can work with them. So in your own business, what is the location that you are looking to target people in? And then just write that down. The third thing you need to think about is, who do your potential clients follow? So are there any influencers, or are there any publications or organizations or other Twitter accounts that your potential clients are likely to follow. The fourth thing you need to think about is what events do they like. So events is a really powerful one. Most events these days have a hashtag that's unique to the event. So if there are any upcoming events that you are going to or that you know about that your potential clients are likely to be at, have a look and find out what is the hashtag for that event, because then you can get involved in those conversations or just find people that are talking about that hashtag. And again, if all of your potential clients are at an event and they're all using a hashtag, you can very easily find them on Twitter, which makes it very powerful. And the fifth thing, the final thing that you need to think about is what do they talk about? So is there anything that they might be talking about on Twitter that would indicate, again, they are one of your potential clients? So even if they don't have to tweet things like hashtags, but even if they just tweet things like looking for business help or looking for business tips or looking for business advice or just different keywords that would indicate that they are looking for you. I mean, another example off the top of my head, sometimes you can think about this quite creatively. If, for example, you're a driving instructor and you're looking to target people that are going to soon be driving, you could target people that have posted that they've just turned maybe 16, for example, and then that would indicate that they can now, drive, or they're ready to maybe start thinking about driving. And then you can start to target those kind of people, very, very easily. There's so many ways that you can do this. It's just a matter of just taking the time to think about the answers to all of these questions. And even if you don't know the answers to all of these, even if you just know the answers to some of these questions, you can actually start following those people. And as you start to follow people and build up your audience and reach out to these people, as I'm going to show you in just a second, that's how you can start to generate leads and grow your audience and actually start to win some new clients. Okay, so think about these 5 things and try to answer them to the best of your ability. Okay, so now that you've thought about who it is that you're actually looking to target, how do you find those people? So in order to find those people, you can use things like Twitter search. So here's a quick example or a quick demo of how you can use different software to find people using the Twitter search feature. Okay, so one of my favorite tools in order to find people and follow people is this tool called moz.com /follower wonk. So if you Google that or just go to moz.com, you should be able to see this tool or find this tool called follower wonk. Go to it and then click on search bios. And this is a tool specifically designed for Twitter. Okay, and in the search box, you can actually type in what keywords you're looking to target people with. And if you click on more options here, you can also target people based on their location. So if I wanted to target people in London, for example, and I wanted to target people with the keyword managing director, let me just type that in. And I make sure I've selected search Twitter profiles. I can just click on do it and then give it a few seconds, and it will search through Twitter for me on all the kind of people that have the keyword managing director in their Twitter bio who are also based in London. Okay, and there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different results. Okay, and that's just one example. It doesn't have to be managing director. It could be anything that you like, and that's just one of the tools you can use to start finding people. And you just click on any of these people's names, and then you'll go to the Twitter profile so you can check them out a little bit more. Okay, and that's how you can very easily find people based on their job title and based on their location. Okay, so all you need to do is go through that list that you find and follow people. And it's as easy as that. Just follow people that are going to be your potential clients and the ones that you want to have in your audience and the ones that you want to have as your leads. Okay, it's as easy as that. Just follow them. And what happens, just so you know, what happens after you follow someone, because this is one of the things that again makes Twitter quite unique. So just so you know, when you follow someone, what happens is they normally get a notification on their phone or on their Twitter app saying that you have followed them. Sometimes they even get an email saying that you followed them with more details about who you are, and your website and your Twitter bio and your picture and all of that stuff also appears. Again, that's why it's important that you build up that foundation in lesson 1 so that when people see you, it looks good, okay? And that there's a higher chance that they're gonna look at your profile. So once they get a notification and they see who it is that you are, what they do, or what most people do, like 80-90%, is that they'll check out your Twitter profile. Okay, and if they like what they see, they will follow you back. Okay, and that's how Twitter works. That's what makes Twitter so unique. All you need to do to grow your audience is follow relevant people. Okay, and it doesn't take any money to do that. You can just go using the tool I just showed you and start following the right kind of people. Okay, they're going to get a notification. If they like what they see, if they check out your profile and they like what they see, they will follow you back. Okay, and that's what you want to do. You want them to follow you back so you can start to grow your audience. And as I mentioned, by doing this, you start to grow your audience. And one of the things you might be wondering is, okay, this is cool. So I'm now growing my followers and I'm growing my audience. But how do I actually take someone from a Twitter follower to an actual lead? Okay, so how do you take someone from your audience to a lead? So in order to do that, you need to move your conversation to Twitter direct messages. Okay, you need to actually start a conversation with those that are your potential clients. But again, you have to do it the right way. As I mentioned earlier, there's a wrong way and a right way to send people messages on Twitter. Okay, so here are some do's and don'ts to help you and guide you in what you should and shouldn't do when it comes to sending messages on Twitter. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start with the don'ts. Okay, so don't send people a message just saying thanks for following me. The reason why is because that doesn't provide any value to anyone. It just says thanks for following me, and that's it. And also everyone, well, not everyone, but most people on Twitter do that. Most people have a message, like an automated message saying thanks for following me, and it just doesn't provide any value, and a lot of the time it actually annoys people. So if you're gonna send them a message, stand out, be unique. Don't just say thanks for following me. Okay. The second thing is don't try to sell to them. Don't say, hey, thanks for following me, and check out my amazing product or service, or just don't try to sell to them when you've just followed someone and they've followed you back. Don't try to sell to them. Okay, it's not best practice. And just imagine you went to like a business networking event, and you met someone for the first time, and you introduce yourself, and you make a connection or whatever. You're not going to sell to them straight away. It would be so weird if you just said, hey, my name is so-and-so, and would you like to buy my services? It's just weird, So don't do that. If you're not going to do it in real life, don't do it online either, okay? The third thing is don't talk about yourself too much. So again, similar to using that analogy of meeting someone at a business networking event, you're not just going to go there and just talk about yourself all the time, okay? Try to see how you can help the other person. Try to find out about the other person. So, don't make it all about yourself. Don't message people a long introduction about who you are and your history and, what you're doing and, what you're working on. Don't talk about yourself too much. Okay. It has to be about them, not you. And finally, don't automatically message everyone that follows you. Okay. Because if you automatically message everyone, you're probably going to have a very generic message, which isn't going to appeal to anyone. And again, you're just going to end up annoying people. So you don't want to be too generic with your messages. And there is a way that you can message people, which is automatic, but it's very specific and it doesn't go out to everyone. So I'm going to show you how you can do that later on. But just so you know, don't automatically message everyone that follows you, okay? Because it can just get annoying and it's not very specific or helpful to the person that you're trying to target. Okay, so here are some do's on what you can do instead. So the first thing is send a specific conversational message. So a specific message. The second thing is in that message, provide genuine value. Okay, so you actually want to help them. So if you know about your potential clients, if you know about what things they struggle with or what they need help with, you can actually say in your message, hey, I've created an article or a video or a webinar or something, some piece of content that solves this issue that you may be having. Okay, so if you have free content that actually provides value to people, that's probably the best thing you can do when it comes to sending a message to someone on Twitter, if you're actually providing real genuine value through free content. So again, you're not selling to them, you're just providing free value to those in your target audience and to those that are your potential clients. You need to help them first. You need to build up trust first before you do any selling. Before you even think about selling, you need to build up trust and build up a relationship first. So provide them with genuine value in the message, with something that's specifically valuable to them. Okay. The third thing that you need to do to actually generate leads is capture their contact information. So you can send people to a blog or something like that. That's fine. But you'll get better results if you can send them to a page where, in order to access the content, they need to enter their name and email. So, for example, for this webinar, which we've also been using Twitter to get people to register, maybe you're one of those people, we didn't just allow you to watch the webinar and that's it, or watch the training session and that's it. You had to give us your name and your email in order to get access to this webinar. And it's the same kind of thing. You can have, there is a time and a place to have content where you just let people access it without entering any details. And if you go to our blog and our YouTube channel and things like that, we have loads of content there that you can freely access without entering your name and email. But some of your content, you do need to have people enter their contact information so you can capture their contact information so you can follow up with them in the future with more content and things like that. But when you send people a message and you're providing genuine value to people, try to have a way of capturing their contact information. And it's, don't overcomplicate this. Just keep it as simple as requiring their name and email. That's just two things. It doesn't take very long for people to fill that in. Give people the opportunity to enter their name and email in return for the free content that you've created that provides genuine value to those who are your potential clients. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And the fourth and final thing that you can do is reply back to people and show that you're human. So if you send someone a message and they reply back saying, hey, this is really cool, thanks, just reply back to that saying, hey, you're welcome, or just continue that conversation, or say something else so that they can see that you are a real human behind your Twitter profile, that you're not just messaging everyone and that's it, and just sending out a message and then that's it, and you're leaving it there and you don't really sort of like care about them. But show them that you're actually a real human, you are actually interested in them, by replying back to them when they reply back to you. Okay, and it can be as simple as just saying you're welcome, or if you want to go into a bit more detail, maybe they ask a question about something, you can continue that conversation. So I do my best to reply back to every single message that I get every single day. So I'm not perfect, so I might miss one here or there. But I do my best, if I see a message, I'll do my best to reply back to it so that people can see that I am a real human being and I am actually, trying to learn a little bit more about those in my audience and what it is that they need, and that I'm there if they have any questions or need anything else. Okay, so replying back to people and continuing that conversation and showing them that you're human can go a long way in building up trust and a relationship with people. So one of the things that you might be wondering now is, what kind of message can you send to those in your audience, those that are your potential clients? So I just want to go through some examples to give you some ideas and inspiration of what some of our other clients have done that might also give you some ideas when it comes to targeting people and also messaging them. Okay, so this is one of our clients called Nimbus. They've actually been working with us for, I think, 2 or 3 years now. They're an accountancy firm, and they're looking to target business owners and entrepreneurs in Washington, D.C. primarily, and also in the rest of the United States. And their offer, so their message, is giving people the opportunity to be updated with their inspiring articles for entrepreneurs on business growth and productivity. And they're targeting business owners and entrepreneurs. So I just want to give you an idea of how that works for them so that you can see that there's so many different ways that you can use this for your own business. Another example, this is a life and a career coach. And she's targeting people that are dissatisfied with their work or their career based on different keywords that they might have in their bio or things that they might have been tweeting about in the past. And her free offer is a blog post on how to change careers if you're not sure how, or if you're not happy with the one that you're in now. And again, to access that blog post, they have to give her their name and email. So that's how they capture a lead. So really simple offer, it's very clear who she is targeting, and again, it works really well. Another example is a client that does IT support. So they're targeting businesses in London, and their free offer, so their message was an invitation to a networking event in London where they can meet other like-minded individuals and other like-minded business people. And again, that worked really well for them. Another example is Echo. So they're a technology product. So they were targeting iPhone users, and they were targeting iPhone users because they were selling basically a new iPhone cable that was extra strong and extra long, because I don't know if, similar to me, like you, if you might have an iPhone, the cables break all the time. Like I've lost count of how many cables I used to buy before this product. So what they did is they targeted iPhone users. They also searched for, well, we helped them search for people where they had broken their iPhone cable and they were complaining about it. And we were actually helping them launch a crowdfunding campaign for their new product, which was, as I mentioned, an extra long and extra strong iPhone charger. Okay, and they actually, using Twitter and also some Facebook and things like that, we helped them raise over $200,000 in pre-orders for their product. So, there's so many different examples of how you can use this to target people in pretty much any kind of industry with any kind of offer, as long as you're, number one, you're clear with who it is that you're targeting and you can find them on Twitter, and you have something like a free offer, something that's really good and interesting to them, then it's going to work really well. A few other examples, just to wrap up. So we have a virtual assistant, so PA Business Support, and they're actually based in London as well, and they were targeting people, other business owners and entrepreneurs, also based in London and around the UK. We have the Profitable Firm, so they're a creative agency. They're targeting accountants. And again, we have an offer for them that works very well, just specifically targeted for accountants, which is at the moment, the offer that we're using is a free masterclass, like a training session for accountants, which is working really well. Then we have Pixel Group, who is a user experience agency. Then we have My Cognition. They do like cognitive training and mind training for all kinds of different individuals. For them, we were actually doing a campaign targeting mums and dads of basically parents of children that might need help with learning difficulties and things like that. And again, based on things that they were tweeting and stuff like that, we were able to find the right people, and that went really well as well. So there's so many different businesses that we've done this kind of Twitter campaigns for that's worked really, really well. So there's countless others that I just don't have the time to mention. And then there's also a lot of others that also, because of the nature of social media and Twitter, they just prefer to remain private. But the point is that hopefully this gives you some ideas and inspiration for your own business that, if you can figure out who it is that you're targeting and what is your free offer, that this can work really, really well. Okay. So as long as your potential clients are on Twitter, this works. All right. So one of the things you might also be wondering is, okay, all right, I get how this helps me grow my audience, and I get how this helps me generate leads, but how do I actually convert these leads into sales? Like if I'm offering someone something for free, how does that later on turn into a sale? So the reason, first of all, you want to offer something for free rather than just sell to them is that you want to build trust with your leads until they are ready, willing, and able to buy. And there is a process that your leads will need to go through so that they can actually buy from you. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this now, but I just want to give you the overview of how it works, just so you understand the full picture. So the first thing that you do once you generate a lead on Twitter and give them that free piece of content is you capture their contact information. The second thing that you do is you follow up with them through email marketing. So when you follow up with them, you're not following up with them trying to sell to them. Again, you're following up with them with more content, more things that build up trust and provide value and help them. Then the third thing that you want to do is continue to build up that trust with more content, preferably content that you create. Content could be videos, webinars, training sessions like this one. It could be blog posts, anything that basically helps answer your potential clients' questions and frustrations, and that actually helps them. That's the kind of content you want to be sending to them to build up that trust with them. And then once you've built up enough trust with them, then you can sell to them. Okay. And, just to explain how long this process normally takes, you can get people who sign up for your stuff and, straight away, they read your content and they're really interested in what it is that you do, and you can sell to them, quite quickly, and they sign up as a client quite quickly. And you get other people that they're a little bit slower. They might take months, even years before they actually build up enough trust or have a need for what it is that you do. And then it's the right time for them to buy. But the important thing is that you keep doing this consistently. And eventually you reach the point where every single month you get people who are interested in buying from you because of the trust that you've been building up and because of the leads that you've been generating. And if you do this consistently, it works very, very, very well. And you can hopefully see logically how this would work. How if you just try to sell to someone at the beginning, if they don't trust you, it's going to be very difficult to get any results. But if you if you provide free value first and then sell to them later on down the line, once they trust you and they like you and they want what it is that you do, that's the best time that you can actually sell to them, because you're not really selling to them, you're just providing them with a solution to what it is that they need and what it is that they want. Okay, so one of the questions that I get quite often at this point in this training is that I get people all the time say, okay, this sounds really cool, it sounds really amazing, but I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to research and post awesome content every day. I don't have the time to follow and find my ideal clients, even though I know how it works and logically I get how it works. I just don't have the time to do that, or I don't have the time to message people and generate leads. Okay, so in lesson 3, I'm going to show you how you can save time, okay, and how you can get this done as quickly as possible. But first, there is one thing I just want to say to you before we do that. In business, you always have 2 choices, okay? You can spend money to save time, or you can spend time and save money, okay? It always comes down to the battle between time versus money. So really, depending on what stage your business is in at the moment, you might have a lot of time and not a lot of money. And at that point, if that's the case, then you want to spend your time to grow the money that you have. Or you might be in a position where you have a lot of money, but you don't have a lot of time. Okay, and in that case, you don't want to be spending your time, you want to use money to save time. Now, at whatever position you are in your business right now, there's something that, I just want to share with you that you need to make sure that you have this in the back of your mind. And that thing is that time is your most valuable asset. You need to treasure that so much. Time is so important. You can't get back time. You can increase your money and things like that, but once the time is gone, you've lost it. You can't get it back. Okay, so time is very, very valuable and very, very important. So what I would recommend for you to do is that you need to, as soon as you can, you need to spend money to save you time. Now, you may or may not be able to do that right now, but as soon as you have the budget to do that, as soon as you have the budget to pay someone else to do what you are doing, do that as soon as you can so you can save time and work on something else and work on things that you love working on in your business. Okay, so I just want to say that, just right now, before we move on to lesson 3. And, just something else I just want to share with you is, in your business, you want to be also spending time doing what you love the most, okay? And following people and finding people and posting things, it may or may not be the thing that you enjoy the most. But, if there is something that you really enjoy doing in your business and in your life, you want to do everything you can to spend time doing that. Okay, so I just want to mention that before I move on to lesson 3. So just as a quick recap of lesson 2, how do you find your ideal clients on Twitter? Okay, so what you do is you find them and you search for them using Twitter search tools. As I mentioned, Follower Wonk is one of the best tools that I like using for free. And then you follow them. So you follow all the relevant people and then you message them valuable content and capture their contact information. Okay, so simple as that. So here is a quick checklist that you can print screen if you wanna save this, so you can work on it after this training. So just as a recap, search for your potential clients, follow them, and message them. Okay, search, follow, message. Search, follow, message. That's all you need to do. Okay, and that's how you can start to generate leads. Okay, with people on Twitter, with your potential clients on Twitter. All right, so now we are going to move on to the final lesson, lesson number 3. And in this lesson, I want to answer the question, how can you save time and speed up the process? Okay, so in order to do that, I want to share with you, I guess it would be my secret tool. And I don't really like using the word secret because I feel it's a bit overused by marketers these days. But genuinely, this is actually something I did keep a secret for a year or two because it was just so amazing and so good and so powerful that I kind of felt like I didn't want to share it with anyone, but I've changed my mind and now I just want to give everything away to you guys and just share everything that we do. So this is a very unknown tool, but it's extremely powerful. And it is the best tool I've seen to use Twitter to find, follow, and message your leads and your potential clients effortlessly. Okay, so the tool is called Socido. Okay, so if you go to Google and you go to, or you just type in socido.com, that's the name of the tool. And I'm going to show you a quick demo of how this tool actually works. Keep in mind, I'm not the owner of the tool. I just use it and I love it. Okay, so I don't mind if you use it or you don't. I'm just recommending it because I know it works so well for us and also for our clients. So let me give you a quick demo of how it actually works and how this can rapidly speed up the process that it takes to research and message and basically generate leads using Twitter. Okay, so I just want to spend a minute or two going through the Succedo tools, piece of software that we use. So the first thing that you do when you have an account on Succedo is you set up your audience criteria. So you can see here that they already have ready-made templates for you to pick and choose, or you can type in your own template of people that you want to target. But let's just say I want to target, I don't know, there's so many different options here. I want to target sales professionals. Okay, so I would just click that. And then it automatically gives me a bunch of keywords that sales professionals are likely to have in their Twitter bio. As I mentioned to you earlier, that's one of the things you want to search for. And if you want to edit things, you can just edit this, click on edit, you can remove things, you can add things, or you can just delete everything and just start from scratch and just target any job titles or keywords that you think would work particularly well for yourself. Okay. And then you have the conversational keywords. So this is where, based on what people are typing in or talking about, or based on what social media channels they're following or Twitter channels they're following, you can actually find people. So you can see here at the moment, they've got a few things. So right now what we're doing is this tool is using Twitter to search for people that are talking about sales strategy, talking about sales tactics. They're using the hashtag B2B sales or the hashtag sales tips or the hashtag social selling. And we are also, what this tool is doing for me actually is they're also following people that, or finding people that would be following a certain Twitter account. So if anyone follows Salesforce or Ask Salesforce, or any of these, Twitter usernames with an @ on it, or at Top Sales World, for example, if anyone is following these channels, again, they're going to come up and show up. And finally, we can also edit the location as well. So if you want to target people in a specific location, I can do a city, I can do the whole country, I can do like the United States or multiple countries, or I can remove countries. I can do all of that as well, which is really, really cool. And one of the other things I love is that with Succedo, you can also find active people on Twitter. So rather than finding people that hardly ever use Twitter, you can actually find people where these people on Succedo have actually, or these people that they have actually tweeted in the last 30 days, which means that they're active and that they're more likely to follow you in the future. So we can see here already from this criteria, Succedo has found 781,000 Twitter accounts, which is really cool, and I'll show you how you can start follow them and find them as well. One of the reasons Succedo does exceptionally well at finding people is because they don't just search Twitter, they also search people's job titles on LinkedIn. So this tool automatically integrates with LinkedIn. So say someone has the right job title on LinkedIn, it will find that job title on LinkedIn, and then it will find their Twitter account, and it will appear here where you can engage with them. So the second step is engagement steps. Actually, let me save this. Okay, so the next step is engagement steps. Here is where you write the message, okay? The message that you want to basically give away something of value, okay? So this is where you would send them to a landing page or somewhere on your website or something where they can enter their name and email in return for a piece of content. And then if we just go to prospects, which is the final step. Okay, and from the prospects page, as you can see here, it gives me the total audience size and it gives me the individual Twitter profiles of everyone it's found. And all I need to do is if I think someone looks like a potential client or someone that we want to do business with and we want to reach out to and engage with them, I just click on approve. And if they don't look like someone that we want to work with, I just click on decline. And one of the beautiful things about Succedo is that the people that they message are only going to be those that you manually check and approve. So it's not going to message everyone. And that's why you can be very specific with your message and your targeting and ultimately get better results. And as you can see here, a lot of these also have LinkedIn accounts. So I can also click on this LinkedIn URL and open their LinkedIn page if I want to check them out on LinkedIn. And I can just click on the username if I want to check them out on Twitter, if I want to look into them a little bit more to see if they would be a good fit for us. And that's all you do. Just click on approve or decline. And you can do this for as long or as little as you like. And you can do this every day. You can do this every week. It's up to you. The more people that you follow and the more people that Succedo reaches out for you, the more leads, the more results that you get. So you don't have to spend any extra money. The only thing really is your time. You do need to pay for the tools to Seeder, which I'll go through how much that costs in just a second. But other than that, if you follow more people, your price isn't going to increase, unlike paid advertising. So again, you can just spend your time doing this, but this tool saves you so much time because you don't really have to spend a lot of time researching people or messaging people. It does it all for you, and it organizes it all for you very, very nicely. And also, one of the other things you can do is you can export reports in the reporting side, and you can actually export all of the ones that have followed you back. And maybe they haven't responded to your message, but they have followed you back, and then it will give you their LinkedIn account so that you can then also connect with them on LinkedIn. So it doesn't find everyone, because not everyone might be on LinkedIn, but those that it does find, it also gives you their LinkedIn URL, and you can also connect to them on LinkedIn if you wanted to as well. Again, taking it so that it's not just a Twitter platform, it's also a platform that integrates with other channels like your email marketing and LinkedIn and so on, which is really, really cool. Okay, so if you're wondering how much is Seeder, again, I just want to clarify, we don't work for Seeder. It's not my company or anything like that. It's just a tool I highly recommend that you use because we've got some great results from it. But if you're wondering how much it costs, Seeder costs $500 a month. Plus, they also charge a $500 onboarding fee, so like a setup fee kind of thing. If you are interested, though, in using it, you can just go directly to Seeder and sign up. And I also spoke to them that I'll be doing this webinar on Twitter and also mentioning their tools to Seeder, and they've very kindly said that if you mention Skyline Social referred you as a result of this webinar, you also get an extra 20% discount on both of those fees, which is really cool. Alternatively, if even, for example, you think, okay, that tool sounds great, but I still don't even have time to use the software or the tool, that's fine. We can also do everything for you. We can even do, setting up the software, and we can manage the software for you, and we can do everything that you need. Okay, we charge $500 a month for our done for you Twitter lead generation, or £395 plus VAT to those in the UK. And that includes the management, any support, consultation, monthly reporting, and basically everything done for you. And there's also no long-term contract, so you can try it for as little as you like. But I'm not selling you anything right now because we are at full capacity. So we're not actually accepting any new clients right now. But I just wanted to let you know that once we are accepting clients again, and that's how much it will cost if you wanted to do it through us. And we can also help you with converting your leads into sales as well. So with your email marketing and the content and posting every day on social media, we can do all of that for you as well. So it's not just lead generation, it's lead generation and lead conversion. So if you are interested in getting your marketing done for you using one of our services, as I mentioned, we're not actually accepting any new clients right now, but the best thing you can do is if you think you might be interested at some point in the future, and when we are enrolling new clients again, you think you might be interested in it, then just sign up to our waiting list. All you have to do is enter your name and email, and you'll be added to our waiting list, and then we'll notify you as soon as we are accepting more clients again. And the last thing I just want to mention is keep an eye on your email inbox, because every single month, I am going to have another free social media training covering another social media channel or something else to do with lead generation and lead conversion. And as you can probably see, I'm more than happy to give everything away and give everything away for free so that you can grow your business. Because I know eventually you'll reach the point that you no longer have the time to do everything yourself. And then hopefully by that time, you'll be able to trust us enough and like us enough that you use us to help you out when you don't have the time to do everything yourself, okay? But if you do have the time and you just want to keep learning and you want to keep growing your business as much as you can yourself or with your in-house team, that's fine. We're going to be giving away tons of value in our training and basically sharing everything we can to help you grow your business with our best strategies and tactics and tips and everything that we know that we've tried and tested and we know that works. We're going to be giving that all away for free for you. And there's a lot of people that charge a lot of money for this kind of information through courses and things like that, but we're giving it all away for free. So as long as you're subscribed to our email database, which if you've signed up for this webinar, you are, then you'll be notified of any new content or any new training sessions that we're running. And as I mentioned, I'm planning on running a new one every single month. Okay, so Other than that, I just want to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. I hope you enjoyed the webinar and the training that we've gone through today. And as always, if you have any questions or need anything else, just feel free to reach out to me. And if anything, I'll see you on the next training. So thanks a lot, everyone, and take care.